40. Nicholas Pooran scored 26 runs for West Indies versus Afghanistan. 39. Rohit Sharma scored 26 runs for India versus New Zealand. 38. Aaron Finch scored 26 runs for Australia versus New Zealand. 37. Kushal Mullah scored 26 runs for Nepal versus Mongolia. 36. Chris Gayle scored 26 runs for West Indies versus Australia. 35. Akeal Hosein scored 26 runs for West Indies versus England. 34. Quinton de Kock scored 27 runs for South Africa versus United States of America. 33. Finn Allen scored 27 runs for New Zealand versus Pakistan. 32. Ruturaj Gaikwad scored 27 runs for India versus Australia. 31. Rekha Patel scored 27 runs for Kenya versus Netherlands. 30. David Hussey scored 27 runs for Australia versus Pakistan. 29. Andre Russell scored 28 runs for West Indies versus Australia. 28. Moeen Ali scored 28 runs for England versus West Indies. 27. Glenn Maxwell scored 28 runs for Australia versus New Zealand. 26. David Mallon scored 28 runs for England versus New Zealand. 25. Colin Munro scored 28 runs for New Zealand versus Bangladesh. 24. Marlon Samuels scored 28 runs for West Indies versus Bangladesh. 23. Rohit Sharma scored 28 runs for India versus Australia. 22. Kushal Shah scored 28 runs for Pakistan versus Hong Kong. 21. Rovman Powell scored 28 runs for West Indies versus England. 20. A.B. de Villiers scored 29 runs for South Africa versus Afghanistan. 19. Jahan Mubarak scored 29 runs for Sri Lanka versus Kenya. 18. Phil Salt scored 30 runs for England versus West Indies. 17. Daniel Christian scored 30 runs for Australia versus Bangladesh. 16. Ryan Burrell scored 30 runs for Zimbabwe versus Bangladesh. 15. Craig Mesjid scored 30 runs for Hong Kong versus Germany. 14. Tanveer Afzal scored 30 runs for Hong Kong versus Scotland. 13. Ricky Ponting scored 30 runs for Australia versus New Zealand. 12. Rekha Patel scored 30 runs for Kenya versus Malawi. 11. Jos Buttler scored 30 runs for England versus United States of America. 10. Dipendra Singh Airy scored 30 runs for Nepal versus Mongolia. 9. Jos Buttler scored 30 runs for England versus South Africa. 8. David Miller scored 31 runs for South Africa versus Bangladesh. 7. Evan Lewis scored 31 runs for West Indies versus India. 6. George Munsey scored 32 runs for Scotland versus Netherlands. 5. Ryan Burrell scored 34 runs for Zimbabwe versus Bangladesh. 4. Dipendra Singh Airy scored 36 runs for Nepal versus Qatar. 3. Darius Visser scored 36 runs for Samoa versus Vanuatu. 2. Kieran Pollard scored 36 runs for West Indies versus Sri Lanka. 1. Yuvraj Singh scored 36 runs for India versus England.